And welcome back to the DrakenGameWerks. I am Draken, and we are starting off back at the SkyCarrier itself, where we have started work on the rear of the ship with the engines. So if we come around here, I'm glad it's nighttime actually, because it shows it up quite nicely. We have these 4 circles hovering in air at the back of our ship, which may look a bit odd, especially in comparison to the rest of the ship design. There is method to my madness, though, in this look, but basically we have this concrete circle with various different colours, starting in white and then having on the edges just this tinge of blue, and then this black outline as well, and then these sea lanterns sort of coming outwards from the back here. Now, as I say, this is going to look a bit odd at the moment. It's going to look a bit weird, but there is method to my madness, and hopefully that will sort of become a bit more apparent over the next couple of clips. And so there's been a little bit of a further update as we come out here. And you can see that in addition to the circles that we had at the end here, it's now being extended out into these tubes. So we've got these wide tubes here, and it's bright down here. We've got the sun coming into it as well at the same time, which makes it a little bit more difficult to see what we're doing. But yeah, basically we've got these big black tubes. So this is going to be the inside. I'm going to probably decorate the outside as well. And it's made up of a mixture of like black stone, obsidian, black concrete, and we also have some crying obsidian down here as well. Wow, that really is giving us some sun rays off there with that shader mod, actually, the sun being in that angle. But yeah, the idea is basically that if this is where the thrust is coming out of the back of the ship, this is going to be all sort of blackened up and carbonized as the various energy turns around and blackens the outside of it. So it's kind of sort of, I'll probably have a look, see if the other tubes are a little easier to sort of view, because I think the one over here is not so bad, he says, coming over here. Oh no, it's still just as bad when I land in here at the moment. We might have to wait for the sun to move its position. But yeah, you can see it's mostly concrete at the back here, and that's because this is going to be less visible from the outside, and you'll see more of the sort of charring and textured effect at the front here, where we've got all of these different types of black material in here that sort of produces it there. And we've still got like the big light source in the middle there as well. But despite it all being very, very dark and black in here, it is actually all lit up. Nothing can spawn in here, and that's because of this crying obsidian that's down here, as well as the light up there, which is perfect for what we need, because obviously we don't want things spawning inside of the actual tubes. But yeah, so that's the next stage, the next phase in it. So we can see it's sort of building up step by step. We built, first of all, the back bit, and now we've built these sort of tubes. We've got more down here. Another tube down on this side here. But now I'm going to have to move on to a slightly more laborious task. I mean, this was quite some task building these inner tubes here, but the next step, that's going to take me a while to get through. And so I need to go off and get some glass. So I've probably chosen the wrong time to do this, because it's raining at the moment, so it's not going to show it off to its best effect. Probably best shown at night, actually. But what you've basically got, so we've got the glass is now being put in place here. So we have layers of glass, so it's almost like a fogging effect at the back here. And yeah, the idea is to sort of just create this sort of energy look in the back of the boosters here, where you've got a bit of light coming through, but we also have a bit of a fog effect coming in as well, which can work differently with different shaders depending on which ones you do. But yeah, I'm quite liking where it's going at the moment. It's those have turned out quite nice. It was the chore that I thought it would be, though, because it was like placing each of these individual panels of glass. And one of the things I did was like turn around and put in these blocks through the middle here as well. So it's almost like it's pulsing, like the energy is pulsing through the sort of the glow that is the glass here. I mean, this is really the wrong time to be showing it off. Oh, the rain stopped, I think. Or no, it's still going. No, I thought the rain had stopped there for a second. I think it was probably just because I was in shelter. But yeah, you can see how it sort of turns out. I'm quite happy with that effect, actually. It looks quite cool. It's almost like it's an idle sort of thing. With the this shader on, it's a little bit reflective, which is a bit weird. Oh, we've just had a bit of lag then as HiddenCryptid came online. We'll say hello as he comes online. I think sometimes when people are moving through the nether or they come online, it just causes the server just to jump a second. But yeah, look at that. I mean, they come out well. But yeah, it did take a couple of days of cooking up an awful lot of glass and using an awful lot of lapis for all the dye that was needed in that one. But it's turned out well. That colour seems different to the rest. I think it might be because it's not so much in shadow as the others. But that might change given time once I do the rest of the detailing that's going to come around the back here. And a few days later, and it's another load of building off camera. And built a few bits and pieces. So as you can see at the back here, we have actually done the whole section all the way around the back here. And in fact, actually we've done, if I fly out here, you can see the back is done. It's all completed. So we have actually done it all the way around. And I've also, these winglets here where we had the engines, you might remember from last week, we had actually left a bit of a gap at the side of these because we didn't know how these were going to interact at the time. But now that's been done. So we've now actually built sort of a cover over the top of it. I still think there should be maybe some pipes or something along here. So that's something that I need to put in here still at the moment. Yeah, we've got this sort of back here. We've got like this nice covering around here while we're still also having that sort of darkened inside there from the actual frost things. I think it turns out really quite nicely actually. It gives it quite a nice little bit of a frame as we look over into here. Still got that odd thing with this shader with the lighting on that top left engine because I think it's like more exposed than the others. All the others are probably in shadow a little bit. Might work better with a few other shaders, so I might check that out at some point. But yeah, we have everything around here now done. This is all built at the back here, with the exception of one bit you may have noticed. If we come around to here, you can see we have a gap just in the bottom here. So if we can fly in here, and you see this is actually from our gold farm. So the gold farm we built in the I think it was the first episode. In fact, actually we built the gold farm along with our iron farm and everything else that we built. Maybe it was the second episode. I think it was the first episode though. We had this gold farm that comes down here and sort of powers in, and you've got this tube that comes down. So basically the zombie piglin drop down here and then end up getting their pieces are then washed all up into here and into the mainstream that gets collected by our storage system. But this comes down a bit further out the back, which is fine. I've got this gap here, which sort of seems to come through the back. And what I might do is build like a bit of a downward spire going down, covering part of this. And there's also another little bit, if we go underneath, you can see this also sticks through the floor here, which is the bottom of the kelp farm. It's just this bit here, we can see the lights here. So we'll have to build a covering when we come to doing the underside properly. But also need to sort out a little bit more of the lighting down here as well, actually. Some of the lighting and detailing is still going to be done. Because I've still got some torches up here that need to be got rid of. But we have these, the bottom engines sort of have this sort of, they protrude from the bottom a bit and sort of a bit rounded around the bottom there. Quite happy how those turned out in that sort of side there. So if we come around to get back in here though, I mean, actually before we go back in there, I'll show you now as well up here. We've also got some weapons on the back here. So I've got a set of double cannons sat on the back here. It's like dominating the back. Plus we've got two other smaller cannons down there. So we've got two little sections here where we've got doorways that will come in here. So we'll have to make some connections up here that go past the sort of gold farm, which you can sort of see is got all its particle effects behind there as well. So we'll have to do something around about that. But yeah, we have this sort of, there's like a little extra space and room in here as well. So that's going to give us a little bit more capacity for our interior work when we come to doing that. Once we've got the, you know, as I've been saying, I want to build the exterior first and then finish off the interior by working out all the little bits and pieces to go around it. You know, the various stores, command centers, quarters, all that sort of stuff. Mess halls, galley, you know, swimming pool. Got to have a swimming pool on board. But yeah, this, if you saw last week, we were talking about down the front end here, how much space we had. If we come down here, in between everything that we've built so far with the hull in place, and we've got all of this space to work with, as well as the ones in the winglets. But now if we come down the side here, we have a lot of space out the back here as well, as it turns out. So we've got all of this area here has a lot of space, and we'll probably build some sort of engine room in this section, or a couple of engine rooms that sort of power up the engines here. So that's got to go in there at some point. But we do also have where those sort of conical shapes are at the bottom there, and that gives us a bit more space here. All that netherrack can go. That's just where I was building the front shape of it. So there's a few bits of like netherrack you can see on the interior. There's still loads around which will eventually be removed when we do the interior, or hidden away, one of the two. But yeah, we got it on both sides there, plus a load of space here that sort of tucks in around the back of the farms here. So we've got a load of capacity here for building sort of various different rooms as well. So this gives us lots of space for interior work. So I'm looking forward to doing the interior work on this one, because it's going to be interesting to try and get all the corridors in, because it's going to be more corridors with more rooms, and the corridors aren't going to be as big and as thick as these ones. These ones are more for like the main areas, like the corridors that we had here. As we go inside there, you can see like these, they've got like very high, very wide, plenty of space to move down, and everything else connects up to the bridge down the front here, etc., etc. But the corridors throughout the rest of the ship will probably be a little bit more cramped, because it's, you know, it's a military style vessel, so practicality over luxury, really, basically. But yeah, that should turn out quite nicely. But yeah, that does mean though that this winglet is pretty much complete, other than obviously you need to put the rotor engines in there, at least on the exterior side of things. Even on the underside, that one's been done as well. You can see we've got the undersides there all connected in, which gives us loads of space in those winglets as well for more capacity for interior work as well. So like we've got loads of space for interior work now, which is really useful. But I think a little bit more detailing work is needed before we can say this is done for this week. So I'm having a bit of a conundrum here. Basically, I'm trying to work out what looks best. So I got two sides done here on either side of the boosters here, and you can see I've put in these nice copper rods on this side, and sort of trying to make a bit more detailing on the outside, sort of to reflect that this is sort of a more of a mechanical engine. And I'm not sure if I like that better, or if I fly around to the other side. What I have done is I've built this one here. If we have a look, where you have, let me jump up onto there. We have instead, we've used a bit of blue wool and a bit of glass there to make almost like it's a blue sort of energy going down the side of the engine there. And I'm not sure which one I like more. So let me know in the comments, help me decide so that I can work it out next time which one I'm going to go with and design on this at the back here. And I'll probably replicate something similar down for the bottom ones as well once we know which one we're going to do. But yeah, definitely drop me a note in the comments, because I'm a little undecided which ones to go with, whether to do this one or the copper piping around the other side here that we've got here. There we are. See. So yeah, let me know, and then we'll change that up next time, as well as also sorting the bow out on the front of the ship as well. And if you remember, I think it was last episode or maybe the episode before, I started digging out this big chasm into the middle of the gaming district here. And we've dug it out some more. You can see that we actually moved the mining machine further down, because we needed to make sure the TNT could reach all the way to the bottom. And I made it all the way down to bedrock. And I have started now building the game that's going to go into this district. It's going to take me a lot longer to build it, because I'm going to have to build all the way back up to surface level, and then all the way up there as well. It's going to be quite big. But if we go down this tube here, we can have a look at what we've done at the bottom. Now this is going to be called this isn't the name of the game, but it's going to be called the Caves of Failure down here. Oh, we got some, I left some bricks there from when I've been building up above there. Actually, let's go and grab those. But this is the Caves of Failure at the bottom of the actual game itself. If you end up here, it means that you haven't succeeded. And I love the way this has turned out. You've got like this little sort of almost like designed to look like a bit of a natural cavern. But you can tell we're down to bedrock, because you can see the bedrock coming through here. I sort of incorporated the bedrock into the design of the bottom of the cavern itself. And as you can see, every now and then we also get glow squid turning up down here as well, which is pretty cool, because they do help make the area look a little bit prettier down here as well, as they're floating around down here. But we have all these wonderful sort of glow berries up around here. We've got sea lanterns on the floor down here to sort of really light up the area down here. And then we just have this exit here, and this is basically going to be the exit and entrance into the Caves of Failure. You don't want to be in here, but you could end up in here. And as you can see, it's quite a distance to go up until we get to the very top here. Yeah, it's shooting all the way up here. So we have dug quite a bit down. And if we fly down from above, we can take a look. We can see that we've got the mining machine has just been built here. Very simple mining machine, like we built last time. It's just a hopper clock connected to a bunch of dispensers that drop down all the TNT. I have to dismantle this machine now. Well, we at Y level 1, where we've put this, that helped us then to dig all the way down. And you can see above those Caves of Failure, we have this area here as well. And again, I've left a load of stuff lying around here. Let's just pick those up. No point in leaving resources lying around. But you can see we have these chambers. There's 14 of them, in fact. And these will all have significance when it comes to the game itself. Each chamber will is like represents an individual game each. They're all the same game, but it just means that they can be played up to 14 times before I've got to reset it. And these iron doors on the sides here, they're mainly there to enable me to be able to reset the game when it comes to it. But this is going to go all the way up and even further up, and it will make a lot more sense once we actually get there. But we've been working on it quite a bit, but you can imagine if we're building this structure, which I've got to repeat continuously all the way up to surface level and then up into the sky, it's going to take me quite a while to build this, and it's going to need an awful lot of stone bricks and an awful lot of glass as well to build. So this could take a while to actually, before it gets to a completed state. But it's also nice because we also get these little caverns off to the side here, which we get to go in and explore every now and then as we come to it there. In fact, we're on a mushroom island, so we don't tend to get attacked here. But one of the things I did discover on the way down here, actually if I dig back out here, is, oh, he says, dropping back down again, all the way down. That was probably not the best idea. Let's see if I can get out. Yeah, there we are. Right, if we come up into here and try not to turn around and kill ourselves on the way up. Oh, there's another cavern here. This wasn't the one I was looking for, I don't think. But there is something along this wall as well, which I uncovered in my explosions as I was digging it down. And let's see if we can find it now. There it is. I see it. Yeah, we have found a spawner down here as well. If we sort of cut into here, we have a skeleton spawner in here. So I'm trying to think about what we could do with this skeleton spawner as well, because as it's in the middle of the gaming district, we might make another game sort of nearby to here that uses the skeleton spawner. Not quite sure yet, but I'm going to keep that in mind, remember that it's here, and we might come back to that in the future and use that for something else as well as the game that we are doing here. But yeah, that's what we've done down here at the moment. It's coming along quite nicely, and hopefully there'll be more games sort of built in this area in time. I know there are some plans already under work over the other side of the island, that some people have got some stuff going on, and it should look pretty cool in the end. Now it is February as well, which means it is time to take down the January sale that we put on, the January promotion that we put there. Not that many people took massive advantage of it, which is a bit of a shame because, you know, there was some free ender chests going as well out of that one. But I still got a bunch of ender chests there, so I might put them up for sale. But we're just going to take down all the balloons and take down the end of January sales, though. I like the idea of doing promotions like that, so I might do some other promotions. I'll have a think about it. If you've got ideas, again, pop them in the comments below, and we'll include those then maybe in the future, the best ones we might actually do for a promotion in future. But on that note, I am going to bring this video to a close. You may have noticed that I have not posted a video for Unorthoblocks the last couple of weeks. I've taken a little bit of a break away. Not that I'm not doing things. I mean, some of the stuff that I was doing down in the gaming district, I sort of jumped on over the course of a couple of weeks and did a couple of bits and pieces here and there. But not so heavily delving into it at the moment. Last couple of weeks, having a bit of a break, playing a few other little games as well at the moment. So we've been playing a bit of Sea of Thieves, been playing a bit of City Skylines. Been doing a bit of, we had a game of Among Us one night, and yeah, and also started getting into Phasmophobia, and sort of just getting back into a few other games as well at the moment. I'm not going to be recording those or putting those up at the moment. I haven't got any plans to do so, but some of the people that I have been playing with, who are other members of this server, have been posting videos in which I've been involved in, so definitely go and check out the other members' videos. Particularly have a look at Iondis, SunnySpacecraft, MightyHigh, HiddenCryptid. All these people have been posting videos in relation to some of the other games, so if you want to catch up with some of the stuff that we've been doing in the meantime, then you might be able to catch us on some of those, especially things like Sea of Thieves, for example. So go and check out their channels as well, because you might catch up some stuff there as well. In the meantime, also I'm going to do some more tutorials as well, so you might see a few more of those come out. I recently posted up how to make nice 1 block thick walls. That's a nice little tutorial there if you ever struggle with building walls. I'd go and check it out. It's got a ton of ideas on how to make your walls look prettier. But in the meantime, I've been Draken. This is the DrakenGameWerks. Have a good one. Bye.